Hello everybody, and welcome back to Operation Logistics, where it is currently slightly thunderstorming out, so if you hear any noises, that's probably what it was. So we do have a small problem with our vehicles following the route right now, and that problem is that they pause for about 1 hour at the first point. Of course, we've still got this argument out of range exception. Maybe we should go ahead and investigate this. So this is going out of range in Hex Manager at line 479. So let's hop on into the Hex Manager and see if we can figure out what exactly is going on at line 479, which is right here. And it's just this. I feel like we changed that. Oh my, yep, there's that thunder. Okay, so I feel like I changed this to make it so that this wouldn't happen anymore. And that is to say that while city seeds is greater than 0... Oh, hang on a moment. This is in the create urban. We fixed it for the create height, but not for the create urban, I think. Right? I don't know. Anyway, we are erroring out at line 479, so let's go ahead and make sure that potential seeds is longer than, well, 1. So what we should go ahead and do is we should say something along the lines of this. If our potential seeds dot count equals 0, then what we should do is we should just say that the city seeds equals 0 and continue. And that should break us out of that. We should no longer have that error again. Now that will potentially create a situation where there are no cities, but that's okay. Okay, so there are cities in this case. So we went ahead and got that fixed. I'm going to use... none of these hexes are particularly amazing. I'm looking for a very particular type of hex, but it's unnecessary. So we're just going to go ahead and purchase this duplex, I guess, and demolish it. And build ourselves a postal office, and create a route. Select our route, and we're going to take this route up over here. Then, I don't want it to go that direction, I want it to go this direction, so we'll just place it right there. Excellent. We will exit edit route mode, create a vehicle, transfer vehicle, select our vehicle, place it on the route. Now, the main problem here is that it'll go from here to here, no problem, and then it'll pause here for 1 hour the first time through. Theoretically. So there it goes. And it pauses there for 1 hour, and then it moves. So the question is, why does it do that? Well, one thing we could do is we could go into our vehicle, and we could say, right down here, when we get our next location, if next location equals location, then we can do the whole thing again. So we could do this, but we definitely want to increment, that's the word I'm looking for. We definitely want to increment the path index first, and then we would increment it again here. So if the next location is equal to our current location, then next location equals following route.getNext hex of the path index, and then we increment our path index. And then the question is, does that fix that little problem? It's a very minor thing. Oh look, an argument out of range exception. Hex Manager, line 500. Okay, well, let's look into that one. It's the same thing. Okay. So we just want to do the same thing down here. In fact, literally the same thing, because this is city seeds again. So we just paste that in, and if there's no rural, that's fine. Okay, let's try this now. Hey! We errored out at the same place, line 500. Because we need to do that before we do this. Oh my. Maybe it's too early in the morning for programming. I don't know. I haven't had my tea yet. It's 8 o'clock. I thought it would be fine. No, it's clearly fine. That should fix the problem. Okay, there we go. And then we'll come on in here. Really doesn't matter. We will go ahead and purchase this house. And we will demolish it. And we will do a postal office, create route. We're going to take the route up over, say, here. We need to select the route. We'll take the route, say here, and then it just loops back. Not the most efficient route, but it's fine. And then we'll need to exit the edit route mode, create a delivery vehicle, transfer that onto the route, and off it goes. And hey, it didn't pause. Excellent. Let's take it up to full speed and make sure it does the whole route correctly. And it seems to. Fantastic. So the next question is, at what point does it refuel? We haven't tested that technically. Wait, that's exciting. But I'm hitting my mute button. Well, I apologize for the sniff there. I was hitting my mute button, but apparently my mute button is not working. Why is my mute button not working? That's really weird. Okay, 1 second here. Again, I apologize for that. I usually have a mute button. Yeah. OBS unbound my mute button. I wonder when that happened. Okay, let me try this again. Okay, I think we're good. I got the mute button rebound. Excellent. Again, I apologize. And if that happened in previous videos without me noticing, I definitely apologize for that too. It's a problem. But the mute button is working now. That's the important part. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at when the vehicle is going to refuel, right? So the vehicle range is like 75 hexes. So let's just go ahead and let it run, and we should notice when it refuels. Now, we don't have anything like printing out. We don't have a mono behavior that we can look at, but for right now, it should, theoretically, well, should it refuel every time it enters one that has refueling capacity? Like every time it enters a berth? Maybe it should, if it's not at full fuel. I mean, it's gone on this route a lot of times. And of course, we also need to determine what the fuel costs are, right? That's something I hadn't considered. Fuel is currently free. Argument exception, an element with the same key already exists in the dictionary. Okay, so it attempted to create a parcel in the same place where it already had one. Now, my understanding was that we prevented that from happening. But maybe not. Regardless, I do want to fix this fuel thing that's going on here. So, if we enter a hex that is our berth, or a fueling station, If fuel is less than max fuel, refueling equals true. So it already does refuel. So when we come up here, if refueling equals true, then we do all this. Fuel plus equals 10.0F, and we should probably go ahead and create a floating fuel price to be kind of a little bit on the realistic side. And I think the best way to do that would be to create a UI element for that. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off, for the purposes of right now, the loading screen, and we're going to try to figure out where we want to put a current fuel price. Maybe on the top bar? Let's see here. We could go ahead and put in on the top bar we could just duplicate in the layout group, say, the trains BKG. And then we'd want to place it over here so that the time bar is still positioned there. Yeah, I feel like that's okay. And then we could do something like fuel BKG. And then we could edit the text mesh pro in here to be something along the lines of maybe we just want to do a number, like, say, what is the current fuel price, like the current average fuel price in America? Current average fuel price, US. Let's see here. Current average nationally is $2.85. So we might use that as like our baseline. Maybe we'll just round that to $3. And that would be, well, we're in metric, so we should probably convert this over. And in fact, if we're in metric, maybe we should be using the current average fuel price in Europe, if that stat exists. I mean, these are in euros and we're using dollars, so there is that. I think we'll just use $3. I think that'll be fine. That'll be our baseline price, and then that price will be changing and fluctuating like every day. So when we have a business on day tick, we can then recalculate the price based on some random factor. Factor? Is that a word? That's not a word. Some random factor. So the business is a time-aware object, so I don't think we have any on-day ticks in here right now. There is an on-month tick. But we can put in a public override void on-day tick. And then in the day tick, we can generate the price. So we should have ourselves a, do we want a min price and a max price? Or do we want to just do a float, like here? Public float base fuel price. That would maybe actually be in the balance, not in the business. So let's go ahead and put it in there. So in the balance, which is currently not open, we'll put that. We've got our building balance and vehicle balance. Should it be in the vehicle balance? I feel like it shouldn't. I feel like it should actually just be in the straight up balance. So we'll do public float base fuel price equals 3F. Okay, so $3 is our base fuel price. Then on the day tick, which, do we do a day tick immediately? I don't know if we do or not. Let's check. In the time manager. Is the time manager not open? Time manager does not appear to be open. Let's just go ahead and go over here and open it. Okay, here's the time manager. So when we start, we set our current time. But we don't do a day tick. So we'd need to do like on minute tick, on hour tick, on day tick, on month tick, on year tick. Does that call all of those recursively? I don't think it does. No. Okay. So if we do all that, then we know that those are going to happen right away. And so we can go into our business and we can say that, or rather, we can go back into our balance because there's one more variable that we need actually. So in addition to our base fuel price, we need to have a public float base fuel variance. And let's make that be, well, can I find any good stats on that? We've got our gas prices here, currently trending downward. But I'm checking to see if we have any, like, stats on what the average day-to-day change is. And we don't seem to, so I think we'll just make that up. So we'll do something along the lines of maybe the maximum change is like 25% off. Okay, and we'll just leave it at that. So it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Next episode, we will continue implementing this floating fuel price, and it will be kind of interesting. Subscribe for more, and I will see you all next time.